Iran says it has the keys to Israel's nuclear vault. Names, files, hidden labs, even private footage. Money, betrayal and revenge fuel the breach. For decades, ambiguity shielded a nation. But now the question burns. How exposed is Israel's nuclear heart? What happens when a nation's deepest secrets fall into enemy hands? Iran claims it has the answer, and it's devastating. Iranian operatives have allegedly breached Israel's nuclear fortress, walking away with millions of pages of classified material, including footage from inside the notorious Dimona reactor and the identities of nearly 200 nuclear scientists. This isn't just espionage, it's total exposure. Speaking on Iranian state television, Intelligence Minister Esmail Khatib delivered a bombshell announcement.
We identified 189 Israeli nuclear and proliferation scientists and top officials, along with their networks.
The implications are staggering. For decades, Israel has maintained its policy of nuclear ambiguity, neither confirming nor denying its nuclear capabilities. Now, Iran claims to have shattered that carefully constructed wall of secrecy with what it describes as millions of pages of classified information covering Israel's past and ongoing weapons projects.
These documents include previous and ongoing weapons projects of the regime ruling over the occupied territories, projects to upgrade and reprocess old nuclear weapons, its joint projects with the United States and some European countries, as well as complete information about the administrative structure and those involved in nuclear weapons.
However, perhaps the most explosive allegation came when Khatib addressed Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu directly.
I tell Netanyahu, your employees collaborated with us for money and still do.
The Iranian intelligence operation reportedly targeted multiple facilities across Israel's nuclear infrastructure. One alleged employee was specifically identified as working across 7 Israeli nuclear sites under the cover of a company called Rotem, while another was described as a nuclear scientist involved in proliferation projects between Israel and the United States.
The documents also contain a list of names of researchers, scientists, and senior managers of inhuman weapons projects, including American and European scientists working on related projects, along with the addresses of their facilities, companies, and all their collaborators.
The scope of the intelligence haul extends beyond personnel to infrastructure. Iranian officials claim the documents reveal details about the Chaim Weizmann Laboratory, described as Israel's leading proliferation program, which was allegedly targeted by Iranian ballistic missiles during the intense 12-day conflict in June. Additional materials suggest nuclear cooperation between Israel and France under a project called Saraf, indicating the international dimensions of Israel's nuclear network. In a particularly brazen display, the Iranian broadcast included personal photographs of IAEA Director General Rafael Grossi, including images of him with his family at Disneyland and during private gatherings. The intelligence ministry claimed these photos demonstrated that Israeli intelligence spies on everyone, including the head of the International Nuclear Watchdog Agency. Khatib's revelations painted a picture of systematic infiltration into Israel's most sensitive facilities.
Nuclear agencies, military institutions, and ordinary citizens of the regime partnered with the Ministry of Intelligence of the Islamic Republic of Iran in obtaining a vast volume of documents and transferring them from the regime's complex protective layers.
The minister identified 2 primary motivations for this alleged cooperation.
First, material motivation in receiving money, and second, intense hatred for the regime's corrupt and criminal prime minister, which led to revenge against him.
The timing of these revelations is no coincidence. They come in the aftermath of what Iran describes as a devastating defeat for Israel during their 12-day confrontation in June, when Iranian forces launched precision strikes against what they claim were sensitive military sites. Revolutionary Guard spokesman Mohammad Naini had previously hinted at this intelligence windfall, stating that
intelligence operations we carried out inside Israel provided us with additional information.
The documents allegedly expose the full extent of Israel's nuclear arsenal, which international experts estimate includes approximately 90 to 300 nuclear warheads, with enough fissile material to produce up to 200 additional weapons. Israel's nuclear program, which began with French assistance in the late 1950s, has developed into what is widely regarded as the Middle East's most advanced nuclear weapons capability, supported by sophisticated delivery systems including Jericho ballistic missiles, modified aircraft, and submarine-launched cruise missiles. Mohammad Eslami, head of Iran's atomic energy organization, had foreshadowed these revelations earlier this year, promising to release a report showing
The United States and the European Troika, Germany, Britain, and France are working continuously on Israel's military nuclear program. A European state is working on producing a nuclear bomb in cooperation with Israel, according to documents received by the Defense Ministry.
The Iranian intelligence ministry's claims extend to the very heart of Israel's nuclear doctrine. For decades, Israel has relied on what analysts call the Samson option, a last resort nuclear deterrent designed to ensure the nation's survival against existential threats. This strategy has been underpinned by strict secrecy and nuclear ambiguity, allowing Israel to maintain its deterrent effect without triggering regional arms races or international sanctions. Now, Iranian officials claim that this carefully constructed ambiguity is ending. According to the ministry, the publication of these materials signals the end of Israel's nuclear ambiguity policy, potentially forcing Israel into the open about its nuclear capabilities for the first time in its history. The broader implications stretch across the region and beyond. Israel's nuclear program has long been a source of tension in Middle East relations, with efforts to create a weapons of mass destruction-free zone repeatedly stymied by Israel's refusal to officially acknowledge, limit, or eliminate its nuclear arsenal. Iran's revelations, if verified, could provide ammunition for countries seeking to pressure Israel on nuclear transparency, while simultaneously justifying Iran's own controversial nuclear activities. As tensions continue to escalate across the Middle East, these revelations mark a potential turning point in the nuclear dimension of the Iran-Israel conflict. Whether genuine or an elaborate intelligence operation designed to embarrass Israel, the Iranian disclosures represent an unprecedented challenge to Israel's nuclear secrecy and could reshape the entire regional security architecture.